Alright, back for another video. The objective today is to be able to evaluate powers and exponents. And before we get started in evaluating the powers and exponents, I just want to take this time to go over some of the vocabulary that was in this unit, Unit 1.1, and just maybe remind you, or maybe it's the first time hearing these before. So first off, we have exponent. And sometimes exponents are called powers, or as I said before, index, and the plural would be indices. And exponents, usually when we see them, for example, 5 to the second power, sometimes we read this 5 to the second power. Sometimes you'll see this as 5 to the power of 2, and sometimes you'll also see that as 5 squared. So each exponent has a base, and an exponent we call the big number on the bottom of the base, and then this would be the 2 would be the exponent in this case. And as I said, it's also called powers. Now we also have another symbol that you've probably seen before, and that's called the square root symbol. And sometimes this is also called the radical sign. And this goes over a number. For example, you can see here the square root of 49. And this means what number times itself will give you the number under the radical. So best way, I guess, is to give an example. The square root of 64, if we look at that, the square root of 64, what number times itself will give us 64? And that would be 8 times 8 is 64. Most of you guys have that memorized, I hope. So square root of 64 is 8. And then we have one more called cube root. This will be as high as we go for today. And that's the same as above, but this is but basically 3 times. It's not 3 times a number, but you'll see the small 3 here outside of the radical, and the number on the bottom, that's also called the base, shown with the small 3 to the left of the radical. And what you have to think, what number times itself and then times itself again equals 27. So it gets a little difficult, but we know that 3 times 3 times 3 will give us 27. So that's just a little vocabulary. Let's get on to the exponents now. Evaluating, oops, there we go. Evaluating exponents. Put into factor form and solve, and I'll tell you what factor form means right now. Example 3 to the 4th power. Let's see, the factor form. We know that this means 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That's what this 4 is symbolizing, that they're going to multiply 3 times itself 4 times. And we know that 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 equals 81. So that's how you would evaluate these. Here we have 6 squared, and that means 6 times 6, and that gives us 36, and not too difficult. Can you do this one? 5 cubed, or 5 to the 3rd power. Okay, we know that that means 5 times 5 times 5, and that's going to be 125. Now, there are a few special cases that I want you to be aware of, and the first one is this. When a number, I just used the question mark, it could be any number, a number to the 1st power, okay, that's always going to be the base number. So 8 to the 1st power is just 8, okay, so that's one you would want to be aware of. Now, interestingly enough, a number to the 0 power is a little unique. It's not 0. I didn't write this down, but if you had 0 to the 5th power, let's say, 0 to the 5th power, well, 0 times 0 times 0 times 0 times 0, that would be 0. So that would be fine. But a number to the 0 power, this is a special case. It actually always equals 1. So 3 to the 0 power would be 1. 100 to the 0 power would be 1. And then here we have 9 to the 0 power is 1. It's just something you have to remember. And so that's evaluating exponents. We'll do some more practice in class, you know. And then so in summary, let's see. To evaluate powers and exponents, write as a product of the base and solve. So there you go, exponents in a nutshell.